so blessed to be able to rub shoulders with you. This is gonna sound narcissistic, it is not. I'm humbled by the fact that this started in this room 13 years ago because I wanted to give back to the community, because this is where I was raised. Every day for me is a blessing. But this, I'm telling you, what we're doing here, it is such a blessing to work with people that love community and want to help businesses and grow and such. And the type of people that you are, I plan to do this till I drop dead. Because every day's a vacation, it's not work for me. I get tired, but it's not. Anyway, enough said. I'm just saying, you can have that same experience because you get into part of business what you put into it. And there's a lot to put in right now. Thank you. You're in for a treat with Michael Wolsten. We became friends on Facebook, but never had ever met. And then I banked with ICCU. And their tellers would be in a crowd, a huddle in the corner, and obviously this guy's not short, so his head stood above. And I went, who is that guy? We're already friends. And then one day he came over and he shook my hand. He says, I'm Michael Wolsten. We're friends on Facebook. How can I help you? I said, for one thing, I've been trying to get a sponsorship through. He says, tell me about it. And then he got it done. ICCU was a major sponsor with us. And then he branched off on his own, following his heart and his talents. And he's just an incredible business coach. And I think with a lot of common sense. So let's welcome Michael Wolsten.
Cody, thank you so much for asking me to come today. What a great group. So just a little bit about me so you guys can know why in the world am I listening to this guy. How many of you here have people that you lead? You're a leader, you lead other people, right? Yeah, I've seen about half the room. I'm gonna ask that question again. How many people here in this room have a family member that maybe you're the older sibling of, maybe you have kids, maybe you have some sort of influence in someone else's life, and I'll use that as the descriptor for a leader. How many of you guys are leaders in this room? All right, cool. I love to talk to rooms full of leaders. So you might be in an organization where you truly are leading others, but a lot of times the most powerful thing that we can do is lead ourselves. And just to tell you a little bit about my story, I grew up in the Portland, Oregon area. I escaped from there, thank goodness, back about 2004. And you know, I went to school there. I went actually down to Eugene. I went to the U of O, and then I graduated at Northwest Christian College. And the day that I graduated, my first son was born. So it was kind of like, all right, ready, set, go, right? I need to jump into this and be able to be a professional. And I had no idea what I was doing. Can any of you guys relate, right? You kind of have life say, okay, this is where you need to be. And I thought, and I would have told you at that time at 23 years old, that I knew everything, right? I had the family, I had a kid, I had just graduated, I had this business management degree. So what did I do? I listened to the advice, this is one of the worst pieces of advice I think you can ever hear. Fake it till you make it, right? So guess what I did? I tried to fake it thinking I was really convincing, trying to lead other people. And I crashed and burned. I was with a company for a couple of years, and you know, I tried really hard. I tried all the textbook answers. To be honest, I was just really super arrogant, and I thought I knew, you know, what it took to lead. And the truth is, not only did I crash and burn, I decided to take something else. I didn't get fired, but I probably should have been. If I'm just being totally honest with you guys. And so I jumped into sales. I did sales well for a while, and then I jumped into an even riskier piece of sales, and I crashed and burned at that. So I'm 24, 25 years old. I have a mortgage. I have 2 young kids, and I'm literally about to go bankrupt because I just keep making the same mistakes over and over again. So when I talk to you guys, I'm coming from a place of I know what it feels like to not have everything in place, and I'm not coming to you with all the answers and solutions, or hey, I'm this business coach and I know everything. But I can tell you what I've learned, which is that you can only move from whatever place you're at and move up from a place of being humble, right? And I chose through my failures to be humble. Okay. But from that place, I was able to, thank goodness, walk into a Starbucks. This was back in 2004. And I'll never forget Rick Cartwright, who was this guy who saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. See, I had gone and done the business management degree. I actually had a really great gig that I could have grown in. I moved into the sales piece, that kind of blew up. So when I walked into Starbucks, I was pretty desperate. I had 2 young kids, and I'm just kind of like, hey, could you teach me something here? Could you teach me how to lead? I knew Starbucks was a decent company. And he said something that I'll never forget. He's like, Michael, I see something in you right now that I don't think you see in yourself. He's like, would you be open to me leading you and teaching you a different way of how to actually lead and be successful? I was like, yeah, I'm desperate, I will. and I like free coffee. So I learned from Rick. I spent about 4.5 years with Starbucks, went from walk-in barista who, you know, kind of the classic overqualified barista who's got his college degree, to becoming a store manager, opening multiple locations, grew in the Treasure Valley, and then I moved to Idaho Central, which Nels referenced. Became a store manager with them, became a regional manager, vice president, ultimately overseeing 45 branches throughout the state of Idaho and growing and learning what it took to be a great leader. Because you guys heard where I started, right? Not great. We were able to build some pretty incredible teams and really do some awesome things when it came to sales and service and started winning awards. And so when I transitioned into owning my own company here, and it's been about 1.5 years, almost 2 years ago, my wife was like, you know, Michael, you can keep doing what you're doing and leading these teams and doing some great stuff, but what if there's something that you have to share with business owners and leaders, like from what you've learned through this 13 years with Idaho Central, 5 years before that with Starbucks, that you could pass on? What are some of the things that you really feel like you can make an impact in? And so that's why I do what I do today. I get to work with so many amazing business owners and business leaders and individuals who I know have what it takes to be successful, but sometimes it's just a little tweak. It's a shift. It's a perspective change. And a lot of times it's being accountable for what you say is actually really important, right? So in my story, I would have told you I cared about people, and I cared about my family, and I cared about my faith, and I would have told you all those things, right? The truth is, there was no real evidence for that, right? Or I was doing some things, but I really wasn't doing what I really wanted to be doing, right? And so what I want to share with you guys is just some real practical advice and practical things that have really helped me along my journey. And then I want to make sure, we have about, what, 25 minutes? Something like that?
25 minutes, yeah.
Okay, I want to make sure there's a little bit of time for you guys to ask any question you want, okay? It could be about something that I'm speaking on, but it could be something specific to your business. I have my office right here, so I'm pretty dang close. Right behind this wall here, and Dave and Life Coffee have just been an amazing partner. But I want to share what I call a hack, so you guys maybe hopefully have something to write with. If you don't have something to write with, maybe take some notes. This is what I call a success loop. This is something I found out, again, the hard way, something I wish I would have known at the very beginning. This can apply to your own personal life. It can also apply to if you're leading people. Isaac, I know you got a cool team. And can help you, but it's doing these things. Everybody knows these elements, but it's the progress and the succession that you do them in that will help you and your team. So the first one is motivate. What is your motivation? Nothing good that ever happens doesn't happen from a deep motivation. You love helping people with sushi, right? April, you love helping people be able to showcase their businesses and highlight them, right? And so there's all these reasons why you guys do what you do, but that deep-seated motivation into your why and how much that is translated into the people that you lead, it could be within your own business, it could be with your partners, it could be with whoever it is. That has to be the biggest piece. And most of the time, people will start off hot, will get excited about a business, right? Yeah. You go to an oil change company, right? Yeah. And you go to people's homes, you're young, can I ask how old you are?
19.
19, awesome. This is awesome. I wish I was where you're headed. I mean, like at 19, I wish I would have had that vision of entrepreneurship. I think that's awesome, right? And to start your own business. But so we can start off really excited, but how do we keep that motivation going? Why do we do what we do? And the clearer that's defined, most businesses don't have a specific mission statement, something that's a personal, specific mission statement. And for me, what I have is I love helping leaders maximize their people and their profits. Those are the two areas that's like my zone of genius. I know I can help people in. So what is it for you? What can you specifically do? And outside of just a tagline, what gets you up every single morning? Because that's the thing that's going to continue to keep you going. So, and when you're talking about people that you're working with, maybe it's specifically a team, you get to lead a team, right, over there at Hackathon. You know, how can you help know what their specific motivations are? Because not everybody's motivation is the same. For you guys as business owners, you're pretty well staked into it. You know, hey, if this moves forward, I get to make money, I get to continue to like survive. That's kind of a nice thing. But for people who maybe work for you, what motivates them? Right? Is it family? Is it time off? Is it, you know, their money? There's so many different motivations and factors there. So once we go down on that, and that's the first one, I'll write it down here in a second, but motivate's the biggest one. The second one is tracking it. So, this is not the best pen in the world, but you guys get the idea. We're gonna do track. So how many of you guys have a whiteboard or something physical that you see every single day? In your office, at home? I'm gonna encourage you, I'm a whiteboard guy. It doesn't necessarily have to be a whiteboard. You got this really cool Excel thing, right? Or something similar to it.
Well,
Something like that, a tracking tool, right?
It could be.
I can make a tracking tool to track all of my things that I want to focus on,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so maybe it's digital. Some of you guys are super digital and you're like, I don't want to have a tracking thing. I literally track on my board in my office the things that are most important to me that drive success. Not necessarily, I have a little spot down below that's like, hey, what's my month to date? What's my year to date? Like, how are sales doing, right? That's important to have on there, but that's not what I track. What you track is the most important piece of it. Right? Tracking is really important, but what are you tracking? And so a lot of times as business owners, we can focus on, oh, I want to track, you know, my specific sales, or basically we tie the result, we tie the fruit into what actually success looks like. And then we can feel like a failure if we haven't made a sale for a month, right? Or for a couple weeks, or sales weren't what we wanted them to be, or whatever that could look like, right? But the truth is, what we want to track are the behaviors that lead to success. So when I track things, it's, did I get up at by 6 a.m.? I'm an early morning guy. If I don't get up by 6, my day's gonna be off, right? Motivate. Second one is track. This is a big trap that I fell into and a lot of people fall into, is what are you tracking? I know for me, if I get up by 6 a.m., if I have some quiet time, if I do some exercise, and I can all get that done between 7 and 7:30, my day will be totally different. I will have a totally different trajectory. I will have a totally different mindset. I will have totally different energy. It will be totally different for me personally. Maybe that's for you at night. What are the specific things that you know about yourself that will help you drive your business forward? Right? So there's specific things that I have in the morning, and that could look like a certain morning routine. For you, it might be an evening routine. One of the best things that I've ever done, honestly, personally, that I track, is I want to set my morning with intention. So I want to have a couple of things that I know that I really want to get done. And then I want to end my evening in celebration. That's another success loop that doesn't quite often happen. And this is true for us personally, but also for the people that we lead. People can be so focused on what I didn't get done. Right? You're a business owner, you've got so many priorities. Guess what? The to-do list never ends. So if that's the case, how can I focus on what I did well? Hey, you know what? I probably should have gotten nothing done today, because today was kind of a dumpster fire. I had a lot of junk that I had to deal with, but I did get this done today. So what can I focus on for success? And thinking about that, honestly, probably between 30 minutes and 15 minutes right before you go to bed, not the scrolling, right? Not the late night thing, putting your phone away, that's so helpful. But literally thinking about the things that you found as successes for yourself, you know, those types of things are so helpful, because how you sleep and how it resets for the next day is a success loop. And it's a destructive loop to wake up, oh my gosh, I don't really know what I'm doing today. Oh yeah, I gotta do this whole activity. Oh, you know, my hair's all crazy and I'm running out the door, right? And then I end my day and I'm feeling really chaotic. Oh, I'm just stressed out. I think I'll just watch some TV. I just think I should just be on my phone, whatever it might be for you, right? What are the specific things that you can do that feed your energy and feed your mind and feed your focus? Because that will determine your success as a leader, right? And it will determine your success for your business too. So when I'm tracking things, again, I love the fruit, I love sales, I love working with clients, I love the checks, right? We all do. But what's the true tracking measurement for people like us? How many great connections did you have today? I look specifically for, I have faith in, I believe in Jesus, and I believe in God, and I know that I have divine appointments. So I track divine appointments. How many divine appointments did I have today? Because I was looking for them, right? And they don't just happen. I was looking for people who are in my life for a reason, right? So what does that look like? That's different than I'm play acting, and I'm pretending that I'm doing business. Right, what's the term? All hat, no cattle. I think that's one of those terms from Texas.
Yeah.
Right? I'm pretending to do business and I'm just doing a bunch of activity and I'm making myself feel good. That's different than I'm going to intentionally focus on people that I can connect with. And my goal in connecting with them is to have these great appointments, but also to find ways that I can serve them. Have you guys ever met anybody at a networking event or any sort of event and you're like, okay, well, I just sat through that elevator pitch and it was all about them and it felt kind of slimy and I kind of wanted to find a way to leave, right? Has anybody felt that way?
Yeah.
If you haven't felt that way, that might be you.
No, I was gonna say that.
No, seriously, it doesn't feel great. So I want to make connections with other people because I want to find a way that I can, number one, create a relationship. This is another success loop. Relationship, value, and then profit. That's how it always works, right? I need to create a relationship with someone I like, know, and trust, and if I don't like, know, and trust them, then I want to get to like, know, and trust them. I want to create value. I want to find people for Isaac. I want to get this guy as many sushi classes as I can get him, right? Because I know Isaac. He's a good dude. He has a good heart, and he has a really cool product, really cool experience, I should say, really, right? And so that's my goal. What's that? Yeah, but it's reciprocal, right? I'm not giving to get. I get to live. I love giving to people. I love making connections. I love making sure that somebody else's business grows. And guess what happens? When somebody experiences that, you don't just make the connection, oh yeah, Cody, I'll send some people your way, But to think about, oh, I got your card that I threw in the drawer,
Yeah.
right? If Cody and I get to make a connection, I get to provide some sort of value to Cody. And then I'm thinking about, and I'm looking for people, and then I get you somebody, right? Then now we have a deeper level of connection. And I'm not doing that just so I'm like, okay, Cody, now you owe me, right? I'm not doing that. But Cody's gonna keep me in mind. Cody's gonna look for people for me because he wants to reciprocate, right? That's the law of reciprocation. When someone gives us something, when somebody does something for us, it's a very natural thing for us to be able to want to give back.
So what was the ballpoint track its reward your success?
Oh, all right, yeah, I deviated. You totally caught me. So I went on a whole different subject just in tracking. So just yeah.
I'm trying to.
You're keeping notes. Yeah, you're good. You're keeping me on track here. So I haven't got to the third one. I'm kind of like been keeping that off to the side here. So it's motivate and track. But what I was mentioning with the tracking is relationships, because I think tracking relationships and activity. How many people can I connect with per day that can help them grow their business, that can help them grow? If that's my goal, I guarantee you'll have plenty of business. That's been my story. This last, what are we in May? It's 5 months. This last 5 months has been bigger for me in my business than all of last year. And the second half of the year will be even bigger than that, because I know how to grow relationships first. That's the most important key, right? And so if you're a business owner, you're like, gosh, I feel like I'm okay, but gosh, I feel like I'm kind of plateaued right now. Or gosh, I feel like I go to some of these networking events and I'm there, I'm handing out my cards, but I don't really feel like I'm getting to where I would like to go in some of these things. I just want to encourage you that you can track that activity every day, and there's specific ways to do it to help you be really successful. So that's that relationship, value, and profit. And so that's a little bit off track here, but it ties in. I felt like it was a good deviation.
Yeah.
To motivate, track, and then this is the biggest one. This is the one that honestly gets missed the most, and it's celebrate. So if you don't know the score, well, number one, if you don't have a scoreboard, you know why you're doing it, or just doing certain activities, or honestly, if you just feel like you're surviving every day, you're kind of like, okay, well, I got through today, or I think I'm doing this right. Am I doing this right? I want to encourage you, if you have the right motivation set and you know your why to a really deep level, even personally, and then you're tracking your behaviors, again, not the result, not your sales, but the behaviors of what you need to do every day. How many people do I need to talk to, right? What do I want to specifically do in my business? What kind of relationships do I want to build? How many, maybe if this is where you're at, how many estimates or how many quotes or how many different things do I need to do that do translate into business because we want to make money here? And then how am I going to celebrate? How am I going to celebrate this? The tracking of the behaviors. Hey, guess what? I was really consistent today. Even though my day got really derailed, I was still able to meet with 10 people today. And when I celebrate the big check or the big client or whatever that may be, that's great, but that isn't the biggest thing that we need to be celebrating. We're really bad typically as business owners celebrating the small wins. Man, I was able to have this happen today. Whatever your tracking is, and I would say making sure you're not celebrating just getting through the day, or not celebrating, oh boy, I had a really hard day or a really stressful day, so I'm going to do X. Celebrate your consistency. Celebrate the small, consistent wins that you have in your business, and then do the same thing with your teams, if you have teams or people that you're leading. Because I think that's so important. And so what does celebrate look like? It could be something, it could be coming to Life Coffee. Hey, when I do these things, hey, so let's just say this as an example. It's really hard for me to talk in front of people. It's really hard for me to connect with people. I actually feel really awkward when I network. I don't like cold calling. I struggle with making sure that I can get X amount of people that I talk to per week. I don't care, right? Just any of those things. Some of those land for you guys?
Yeah.
So, okay, let's say your number is, I'd like to talk to 10 people a day, right? So your goal would be 50 for the week. Once I hit 50, not if I hit 50, but once I hit 50, I'm gonna come into life, it's gonna be Friday afternoon, I'm gonna be all excited because I talked to 50 people that I never had talked to before, and I'm gonna get, probably a burrito, or I don't know, get something amazing here, right? And I'm gonna celebrate. I'm gonna celebrate the effort. I'm not, and when the sales come, awesome, that's great. I'm focusing on the root so that I can achieve the fruit. I'm not chasing the fruit. Because guess what? Everybody feels it when you're chasing the fruit.
Yes.
When you're chasing the sale. When hey, I'm getting to know you, but by the way, you're gonna give me some business, right? It doesn't feel good. And that is very different too than, oh, I'm just gonna be really nice to everybody, and people just like me, and then they'll do business with me, right? That doesn't work either, by the way. What works is I'm here to serve Cody. I'm looking for, and again, on the faith piece, I'm praying for Cody. I want Cody to be successful because Cody's in my network. Cody's in my group. I want to build the biggest network, and when people have a need, even if it's not specifically my business, I want them to say, hey, Michael, do you know somebody who could do this? Do you know somebody who could help me with this? Right? Because now I'm a resource for them. I'm a connector. That's who we have to be successful as business leaders and business owners. If you're a connector, you are valuable, immensely valuable. And people will keep you top of mind when there's anything that's close, and you'll continue to get referrals from people you don't even know, right? I'm sure you guys have received some of that where you're like, I didn't know this person. Well, this person talked to this person who talked to this person and then got to me, right? So this is that success loop: motivate, track, celebrate. And I would include in the celebrations, make sure, this is a mistake I had actually early on in my career, and even today I kind of struggle with a little bit just because I can be really independent, like we were talking about a bit before with your kids, is include your family, include your spouse. You guys are a power couple back over here, right? Business owners. We get to help each other. Sometimes I think as business owners, it's really easy to be siloed. So how can your spouse, how can your significant other, how can your family, how can they celebrate with you? And how can they make sure that they know what success looks like? And have you define that for them as well? So this is one model. I've got lots of different models that I know have helped me personally with businesses, but I want to be sensitive to time as well. So I guess I'll probably just open it up to any questions.
Yeah, that's great.
It's perfect. I'd like to say this, as he opens this up. I could not have said better. What do we always talk about? Build relationships now. Increase your sphere of influence He shared that, but why is it so important? In my own experience, those with the largest sphere of influence survive downturns better. So in order to build those relationships, don't have the expectation of making money off of this, because you project that. You can tell someone who's only against, that they're desperate to do business, particularly salespeople. They gotta make a quota, they're not making enough money, and you can just, they're dripping in desperation, and it projects, no matter what word comes out, it's desperation.
It smells like commission breath.
Yes, so,
Yes.
but in my experience, those with the largest sphere of influence, they're the ones that get those referrals for yet another reason. If you expect to be fed, you need to feed.
Yes.
So, I just kinda wanna make a comment on something there. So, for some reason, I love going to workshops, seminars, and reading books on subjects like these, right? And I always felt it was worth it if I just got one little nugget came out of it that I could actually put to use, right? But I've never seen the celebrate part, ever. And I can't even overemphasize how huge that is, because typically you look at, you know, what you did or didn't do in a day, which is typically what we do, so you're focusing on the negative,
Right.
which really makes you feel good, right?
Yeah.
That turns everything around when you focus on the positive. The night, your sleep, your attitude the next morning is huge. So my question to you is, when you thought you knew what your program was gonna be, when you started this business venture that you did, and what you have now, what you go through, like this is a short presentation, and you do day-long and probably multi-day long programs. Does it look different now than what you thought it would look like when you started putting this together?
Yeah, that's a great question. So thank you for that too, because the celebrate portion is huge, and I could talk about that for a long time. We're really bad in our culture of celebrating, just to be totally honest. We celebrate the wrong things in the wrong way, in my opinion. So I would say, yeah, to start off with, I've learned these principles, again, through a lot of failure, but I saw this pattern, specifically this one, and I used it over and over again when I was leading teams, because I was like, well, why do some promotions work and some don't? Why do certain teams get excited about certain things and then sometimes they don't? Why is this person who they really struggled over here with this team, but then I brought them over here, why are they winning? And what I found is that by focusing on what was intrinsic to them, why they were serving, number one. And then number two, how could I really make something super easy, super measurable, and say, hey, let's just start really small, and then I just praise the heck out of it, right? Because we think, oh, if I'm harder on myself, then maybe, or I'm harder on other people, that will help get me the result. And the truth is that good behavior and good focus and celebrating actually gets us way further than what we actually think, right? So to your point, it's how do I celebrate the small wins? And it may not even be something I did. Oh my gosh, I signed up for this program. It should have been, $200, and it's only 100. It was on sale. It had the flash sale. Like, how cool is that? I literally put little things like that on my celebration board, because guess what? It's really discouraging to get no's. It's really discouraging to, I don't know if you guys get this way, to get the self-talk. Well, okay, well, that was good last month, but will it be good this month? Am I going to be able to actually make this happen again, right? All the things that we already do that are a struggle for us as business leaders. So how can I make sure that celebration is one of the most important parts of what I do every day? And so to answer your question, yeah, it's been a part of my process for quite some time, but it's something I love to expand on, because you can really drill down into how to help for you personally, but also with your team. So yeah, go ahead.
Something that I've talked about before that, I'm not a business coach, right? So take my advice with a grain of salt, but something that I talked about before is the fishbowl method, right? And so a lot of times in sales, a person will will put something into the fishbowl. It's like, oh, I made this phone call or I did this, right? But I like taking out of the fishbowl, and what I mean by that is every single time that like I do something where I'm like, oh, I overcame that, right? Or like I called that person I didn't want to call, or you know, I went to this event that I woke up early and didn't want to, and I still did it, and it was successful, right? All of those things I write down on a piece of paper or sticky note, right? Put it in the fishbowl, and then at the time where I'm like, oh geez, I just, you know, don't wanna make phone calls, or somebody backed out of a deal or something like that, right? Instead of like looking and saying, hey, these are the ones that I'm gonna focus on, I take a random one, you know? You take a random one and you go, oh, I accomplished, you know, April 12th, I actually accomplished something. How does that feel, you know? So I would just encourage people, especially if you're in sales, that fishbowl, that just that random thing, you know, every single thing that you do that is positive or impactful to you or meant something or was hard to do, you put it in that fishbowl and then you take it out.
Yeah, that's great. And I would also say, you know, and I didn't come up with this, but the 5-minute rule, right? If there's something bad that happens, something out of my control, I lost a deal, something, whatever, I have 5 minutes to have my pity party and to grieve and say, that really sucks.
Yeah.
And now it's time to move on,
Yeah.
right? I'm not gonna stay there.
I think a big thing, for me and my husband both is, gratitude at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, which I started doing like 5 years ago. I actually had gratitude journals and stuff, and I always thought, oh, I need my gratitude journal, I can't do my gratitude, and then I realized that all I need is a piece of paper.
So we've met a couple of times now, and I hear you on all of these big picture things, and I'm trying to implement them with myself. Celebrate's a new one, and I'm really excited to implement that. But you're a team coach. You help bring out the best in people's teams. And how do I apply this same logic that I've been doing for myself to my team? Because I got a great team. They are awesome. They are go-getters. They're just unfocused because it's not their business, and I totally get that. How do I make sure that when I'm crushing it, that they're pushing in the same direction and making sure that they're motivated, they're tracking, and they're celebrating?
Yeah, great question. Well, you guys know this, right? You guys have everybody worked for someone else before?
Yeah.
Right?
Unfortunately.
Guys, it's like never again. The clearer the leadership, the clearer the vision, the clearer I know the scoreboard, I know what wins and losses look like. So think about it that way. If you're leading other people, do they know what the scoreboard is? Do they know what success looks like? And that can be it should get really granular, and it should get daily. If somebody doesn't know what a win looks like every single day, and they don't know what the right behaviors look like to win, you will always struggle with them never being consistent in your mind. You'll always struggle with them never caring about things as much as you care about them, right? So my challenge to you, and I know we've gotten to talk a little bit, Isaac, so I'll just kind of pick on you for a second, is, hey, is Jeremy, one of your employees, does he know what it looks like for a successful event to be set up, presented, and torn down, right? The specific steps, and is there either a checklist or is there something specific that he can check off with every event and every day, and that he gets a score, right? He literally gets a score. Maybe he scores himself, maybe you score him, so you know what success looks like. Everybody wants to know what the score is, right? We know that personally, and sometimes, again, we attach the scoreboard to profit or dollars or whatever. I want to know what the scoreboard is for myself and for my team based off of daily habits and behaviors. The more consistent daily habits and behaviors happen, the more success can actually happen consistently. And when it's just kind of like, yeah, they're here and they do stuff, you know, or they're both great folks you have, right? Molly and Jeremy are great, but if they don't know what that looks like consistently and what you want from them, from every event specifically, then they're only going to be able to do what they can do. Does that make sense? So my challenge to you would be, and maybe even, you know, pulling from them, what do you guys think? What do you guys think helps you be successful? What do you guys think helps us when we have a successful event compared to one where it's like, that was kind of rough. That wasn't really fun. We didn't get very many other bookings from that. Like, what are the differences there? Challenge them to kind of think through some of those things as well. But this ties into one last model real quick that I'll throw out there. Are we okay on time? Can I do one more thing? Okay. So I call them the ABCs. This is what I do for every business. This is what I do for most problems, most issues. And ABC is really fun because it's obviously really easy to remember. So it's assess, build, and commit. So just like we talked about for a second, right? Can I just use you as an example? We need to spend time assessing specifically what your team needs to do every day to be successful and to have specific measurements in that. It needs to be trackable, it needs to be visible, it needs to be, you can text them. A lot of times I love it where if you're remote teams or people running around or you have multiple people, having them actually text you or message you or email you to let you know, oh, hey, by the way, this is what I did today. Because I want to celebrate that. It's not me micromanaging, it's I want to make sure I'm not missing any celebrations or anything that we can celebrate. Build, so again, what is that tracking tool? But how can I build something that is sustainable? Sometimes we commit to things to ourselves in our business, or we just try to build something that doesn't last. So know your team, know yourself. What actually works? What do you think you could actually do? And make sure when you're in this build phase that it starts small. It's really incredibly easy. Yes.
Would the build be kind of the steps?
Yes. Yeah. What are my 3 steps? What are the things I'm committing to in my business? Yeah. Great question. Yeah. Thank you. And as I'm building it, how can I make sure that it almost feels a little bit too easy? Because my goal is not to achieve, and this is why a lot of like weight loss stuff and all the 190x, 5,000 workout programs, whatever, people fail, or they only do for a certain amount of time because it's not sustainable. It's not a lifestyle. It's not, oh, I play pickleball 5 days a week because I love pickleball. I don't do that, by the way. But, some people do, right? And they're healthy because they're doing something they love and they enjoy and it's sustainable. So how can I find those things in my business? So you build it, and then this is the most important, and I'll be totally honest with you guys, this is the part that I kind of love helping business owners do the most, is helping them commit and stay committed to and stay accountable to the things that they promise to themselves and to their teams and to their families. Because at the end of the day, you can have the best assessments and go through all the trainings and go through all the things, right? You had mentioned workshops and different things you've been to. You can build a really cool plan. I've built lots of really cool plans, but the meat, right, where the rubber hits the road is what am I going to commit to every day? What is my team going to commit to every day? And then how can I build on that success? Because if I can do that, holy moly, man, I'm going to get some pretty cool results. So when you're thinking about big problems or you're thinking about teams, I just want to make sure I brought that up as well. Even just for you individually, if I can assess, build, and then commit, and have some sort of commitment that's outside of myself, could be a coach, could be friend or family member, could be somebody that you know is going to hold you to the fire. Yeah. Right? I don't want to talk to them because they're gonna tell me I either did it or I didn't do it, right? Yep. But they're gonna do it. You guys have all had coaches and mentors and people in your life who have helped you do that, right? Who've helped you tell you what you needed to hear. Yeah. You gotta have that. It's super easy to get off track, So I just want to make sure I share that as well. Any other questions?
We're coming up on the time here.
Okay.
One of the things I wanted to share as we close out, which really ties in with what Michael's been saying, we only have 3 rules. Can you guess which one of the 3 works with what Michael's saying today? Was play nice, serve others first, and what is it?
Promote your business, but
Promote your business, but don't push it. So I want to really focus on service to others first. That changes everything. I'm telling you, because that's something you wouldn't be able to describe, but you can feel. You can feel that person who's there to serve. And when you yourself are serving others, putting them before you, even though you desperately need to pay your bills, and to listen to what Michael had to say today is just do that. Build those relationships. And how do you build them? By serving them. And it changes everything. People always say there's something different about the heart of business. Well, that's because we serve others first. And the profits will come. In those relationships, because we're very relationship based, 1 or 2 kind deeds doesn't really build a relationship. It takes time to build trust. So when you reciprocate, or serve others without expectation, Michael said that so well, I'm gonna serve you, but I'm looking for the business. You can sense that with those people, that they're only in this for the business. And so let me just define this a different way. We are go-getters here. And there is a difference because America celebrates the go-getters. They're the ones that'll show up at these meetings and thousands of other network groups in Kootenai County, and they're just there to collect cards. And then they're gonna pin you down in a coffee shop for 3 hours, which you might buy from them, but you'll never give them a referral because you do not want done to your friends and family what they just did to you. So the go-getters, they have a certain life expectancy. Then they move on to another career because nobody wants to talk to them. The go-givers are the ones that build long-term relationships. And that's what's most important. That's why we are relationship-based. Every event that we do is based on you and fulfilling your needs. And we have a lot of events, I'll admit to that. 4 of these a month, we have the bash, and we have the luncheon. Why are we doing that? Are we trying to wear you out? No, we're giving you an opportunity to serve others. You can build your business. So I talked to Gary. Well, Gary can't make the luncheons. Or he can't make the bash, but he can make this. And I got him to one event. If you use that same tool and build your business, because what, they're gonna come here and be offended? No, they're gonna walk away and say, there is something different about that group. Thank you so much, Everett, for inviting me. So, that being said, let's give great thanks to Michael for his time spent with us. Let's start rubbing shoulders now.
Good morning, Heart of Business. I'm John Beebe. I am your mortgage specialist, along with her. I've been doing mortgage loans for 33 years. I do land loans, I do all types of loans except for SBA. And I can explain what that is if anybody doesn't know. So if you guys are looking for a home loan or refinance or land purchase, come and see me. I'd love to talk to you. 208-255-5626. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bernie Rosen, and I have Rosen Wellness. It's a nutrition consulting business. So kind of help people to figure out natural solutions to what may be bothering them. So typically people that might have bad digestion or not having the energy they used to have, a strange rash, all that kind of stuff. Kind of help people figure out what's going on and solve it through natural solutions and supplements and things like that. So Bernie Rosen with Rosen Wellness.
You from
208-771-6570. Operators are standing by.
All right, I am Matthew Young with Promised Land Technologies, and do you guys use Excel and hate it? Because I want to help you fix your data, get it into something that's reasonable and manageable and useful for you to grow your business from a small to a medium or large size business.
I'm Lynn Knapp with the Hitching Post Wedding Chapel. And for those who need to or would like to elope, we'd love to have you come. And we also provide ministers to other locations. So if you have a venue where someone's getting married and needs an officiant, we're probably your person.
I'm Andrew Moffett. I'm the founder of a mobile announcement platform called Get Me In. It can put a notification on your customer's phone like magic. It doesn't use email or SMS, so it doesn't get filtered by phone carriers, and it doesn't end up in spam inboxes. So if this sounds like something that's interesting to your business, if you need to send out notifications to customers, I'm talking.
Hey guys, my name is Everett Wolf. I'm a real estate agent with Windermere Coeur d'Alene. I also own Wolf Real Estate. I just work under the umbrella of Windermere now. Eventually going to be a broker, but that's what I do right now. Born and raised here, veteran. So if anybody's looking for a realtor, I'm also going to be starting a drone company and photography or real estate, so that's what.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very popular. Good stuff. And you've got an amazing marketing person, I think.
My wife is amazing. Yes, yes. Big shout out to Marty's Digital Marketing. She does a lot of marketing for a lot of people successfully. She couldn't be here this morning, but she wanted to be here. We have children at home that needed to be taken care of. She decided to stay home, so.
And they have one on the way.
And we have one on the way.
All right.
My name is Eddie Hynden. Some of you may have seen me before. I own a little company called Zip Wax where we anti-fog glasses and things like that. I also have a small putter company called Fisher Putters, but I'm here to I heard about this yesterday, and I'm getting ready to launch a professional golf league called Major League Golf, and just wanted to kind of dabble into this little universe here.
I'm Crandall, and I am starting a new enterprise. I just leased an office building, and I'm turning it into a computer training center and technology and learning hub. So I'm looking for instructors to teach classes, and I'm just getting things going, so I'm kind of brainstorming and I can benefit the community and different businesses with the space that I place, which is a real great opportunity for people that have knowledge and want to share it and build a little business around it and collaborate with me in my space. So it's a great opportunity. And I just enjoy coming to these things and getting up in the morning and having a good cup of coffee.
Hello everyone, my name is Leo and I am with Quality Imaging Supplies. Our company remanufactures laser printer cartridges and inkjet cartridges. We remanufacture over 1 million cartridges per month and we recycle over 3 million. The cost savings that you would get over the originals are 10 to 40%. And just remember to use and reuse.
Perfect.
Hi, Deborah Baroni with JWK and Associates. I also do home loans like John. I'm a mortgage broker, so like an insurance broker, I can shop home loans. We have partners of probably about 25 different lenders, and we do kind of out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. We do a lot of bank statement loans and things like that for self-employed borrowers. So if you have a difficult situation, if you have a borrower, a buyer, or somebody that wants to refi that has a little bit of a doesn't fit in the conventional box, I'm your girl. Thank you.
Okay, I am Sean with Creative Tech, and for those of you that are new, I am not a videographer. I love Dell's, and it's a passion that I do for him in the heart of business. My business is residential and commercial technology, so it's boardrooms that need TVs put in for Zoom calls and things like that, or homes. I can work for a very simple client, a couple clients that called us recently, both had Nest systems, both had moved into new homes, and they're like, we can't make the thermostats work, we can't make the cameras work, we can't make anything work. We showed up a couple hours later and they were like, You guys are fantastic. We love you for life. Because it's summertime and you want your thermostat to work. So we do a lot of smart things in the home and in the residence, and if there's anybody you know that's moving in, building, starting a new business, they need Wi-Fi, network, TVs, sound, any of it, just have them call me and we'll do a free consultation. Sean with Creative Tech.
Sean's so good. I called him yesterday and told him my Wi-Fi was out, and by the time we got off the phone, the Wi-Fi was fixed. He didn't even do it.
I'm Crystal Hoskin, and my company is CLR Bookkeeping and Beyond. I customize a full range of bookkeeping services for each exact client need, and no packages are required. So I make your, the bookkeeping services I provide fit what you need, as little or as much.
Gary Hall, Frontier Homes. I'm a semi-custom home builder. Pretty small home builder, not trying to be the big boy in town. And I do specialize in high performance homes. So what do you think that means? So everybody's got a different idea what that means. So well, they can be, super energy efficient, really healthy indoor environment, and the comfort level is really increased. So, and you know anybody who needs custom homes?
What's a good phone number to contact you?
208-699-0250.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Tyler Guptill with Oil Masters, the at-home oil change. We come to you for all your preventative maintenance. Take care of it at your home or work. Good phone number is 208-649-4854.
I'm Michael Christensen, and for 23 years I've been a financial advisor. I own Christensen Wealth Management. I help people not only with the traditional investment stuff, but if you don't understand precious metals and cryptocurrency, I will coach you through that, help you add that to your knowledge base. And I also want to let you know that about a year ago this month, as a matter of fact, God told me to start a side business as a DJ. So I'm almost ready to do that. I've been practicing on my free time, and I want to do weddings and parties. And because a lot of my financial life is full of news and stress and craziness, and all of a sudden a year ago I started listening to some fun music, and I found some DJ guys on YouTube. I'm like, this is so cool. And it became an addiction. And a year ago at the Innovation Den, I said, I want to be a DJ a year from now. And it's been a fun journey. And I listened to all kinds of cool music. So if you know anyone who wants to give an aspiring DJ a chance.
Nick Hawkins. I work with Hagnon Media's commercial print. So they are professional arts and crafts. They do anything wide format, small format, big signs, banners. I'm actually a guy got the banner for Life Coffee House that I should be getting done today or so. Business cards, pretty much any image, text, or anything you want to get printed on, just about anything. I can figure out how to make it happen.
Cool. Make sure
Hello, I am April Howard with North Idaho Events and Add Local Value, so I can help put your business into a new level that you've never experienced before, whether you want a custom event to make your business shine, or if you want to turn your living room at your home or at another business into a digital billboard. So lots of options. North Idaho Events, April Howard.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Isaac Huntington with My Sushi Sensei. We specialize in sushi experiences so that you can experience the best sushi has to offer and never settle for second-rate sushi.
Or day old sushi.
Or day, don't say dirty words in my presence.
Hey guys, Cody Huckins, New York Life. I actually was recently told by our guest speaker today that I need to be a little bit more deliberate about telling my story. So just a little short story. In 2018, my mom passed away, which, I would love to have my mom here, but her life insurance actually paid off my mortgage. So I don't know if any of you guys right now are paying a mortgage or paying rent, right? But it changed the trajectory of my life. I was in a job that I made lots of money. I was happy with the money, I was not happy with the work, right? And I had no way to be able to change that because I had children, I had a wife, I had responsibilities, right? Then I was able to transition to my career as being a financial advisor here a couple of years ago because of the fact that my mom's life insurance paid off my mortgage, right, and allowed me to be able to take a new step. So just imagine, 20, 30 years down the road, one of your kids, you're able to leave them something beautiful like that. Yesterday, or last week actually, Dr. Dave, who's not here, so I'm gonna talk about him, he mentioned that he didn't know that I do benefits as well. So we've got a lot of business owners in here, a lot of employees, right, who are looking, when you're looking for a new job, one of the main things you're looking for is I need health insurance, I need, life insurance, I need dental, right? I need all these different things. I have the ability to offer that to you, whether you're a business owner and you want it to be at no cost to you, I can do that, or you're a business owner and you want to use that as a tax write-off, I can do that as well. So if you're putting money into taxes every single year, you can directly put that money into employee benefits and it will be a wash, basically.
I'm Jerry Pletico with Touching Hearts at Home here in Coeur d'Alene. I help people age in place. If you've ever had an alert on your phone that says lost adult, I make sure that those people don't get lost on their phone. So if you have a friend or family member that's struggling staying at home safely, give me a call. I troubleshoot all kinds of chronic care management stuff all day long, and I'm a nurse that have been for 25 years, so I can specialize in anything particular, even if you have questions or need a referral.